Hello and welcome to our second lesson on Earth and space. So for our flashback for today, I would like you to have a go at naming 4 changes that happen in an infant between birth and 18 months. So that's 4 ways in which a baby develops over those 18 months. So what do they learn to do? Okay, and once you've done that, I'd like you to put those changes in chronological order. I'm going to move to the next screen now, which has some answers on it. So if you press pause, you can just write down your answers before checking. So some of the answers you could have had: crawling, walking, eating solids, sitting up, eye contact, rolling over, speaking, and there's probably a few more as well. So the order of the ones that I have chosen. So eye contact comes first. Remember we talked about how a baby is born with the ability to see from the breast where it's getting milk up to the mother's eyes. Rolling over, sitting up, then eating solids. The baby isn't meant to eat solids until it can sit up, so to reduce the chances of choking. Crawling, walking, and speaking. Now, as we know, some babies might do speaking before they do walking, some babies walk before they crawl, but this is generally the order that they occur in. Okay, so our can I is the same as last week. So as a scientist, can I describe the movement of the Earth in relation to the Sun? So Bronze today will be answering some questions about the movement of the Earth in relation to the Sun. Silver will be answering the questions and explaining day and night. Gold will be answering the questions about the movement of the Earth in relation to the Sun and explaining day and night, both in writing and using a labelled diagram. I really would like everybody to be hitting silver and gold today. I would first of all like to say thank you so much for the lovely videos and animations that you sent me. I saw some brilliant PowerPoints, some posters, and some lovely videos, some stop motion ones, and some including parents. Thank you, parents, for that as well. That was fantastic. But there were a few misconceptions that I noticed, some of which I sent back to you in the comments, but I just wanted to go over a couple of things. So some people made the Earth and the Sun the same size. Now we know that the Earth is tiny in comparison to the Sun. The Sun is an enormous star and the Earth is really small in comparison. But I understand that it would have been quite tricky to find two things with such a big difference in size. I mean, we're talking about probably having a watermelon and then a pea, and it would have been very hard to see that. Some people also referred to when the Sun is facing the Earth or when the Earth is facing the Sun. Now, the Earth as a whole, the Earth is always facing the Sun. It's just a different part of the Earth is facing the Sun at different times of the day. And the Sun is always facing the Earth because the Sun is around, is spherical. I shouldn't say round, is spherical, and the Earth is orbiting the Sun. So the Sun and the Earth are always facing each other. It's just a different part of the Earth that will be facing the Sun. So I have got my little friend Bob, he's a policeman. Say hello, Bob. There we go. And he is rather large, but he is actually on Great Britain at the moment on my Earth. If we imagine that maybe my head is the Sun, you know, and so Bob is in England. So when the part of the Earth that he is on is facing the Sun, he is in daytime. However, over the 24 hours, the Earth will rotate, and I'm probably not doing this the right way. It's very tricky on camera. But once I've got the other side of the Earth pointing towards the Sun, so that would be, say, New Zealand, they are in daytime, and Bob, my friend over there, is in nighttime. So as he's a policeman, currently he's on the night shift, and then when it rotates, he's now on the day shift, because the part of the Earth that he is on is facing the Sun. So when the part of the Earth you're on is facing the Sun, it is daytime. When the part of the Earth that you are on is facing away from the Sun, it is nighttime. So it's not really about the Sun and the Moon necessarily. It's about the rotation of the Earth. Okay, so in fact, we'll find out later on that the moon's always there. It's just that it's easier to see at night. Okay, so just try and remember that for me. So revision time. Our sun is a star. It is no different from the other stars you see in the night sky, but it's a lot closer. A star is a massive ball of extremely hot luminous gas, plasma, that's held together by its own gravity. So the Earth takes 365.25 days to orbit the sun. Many of you forgot that quarter. Very important, leads to an extra day in every 4 years. The Earth takes 24 hours to rotate on its axis. Everybody remembered that I saw. And the Earth is roughly spherical. So daytime is when the side of the Earth that you're on is facing the sun. Nighttime is when the side of the Earth that you're on is facing away from the sun. So if you're not confident, you can go into the PowerPoint, which you can click, and you can click in to the video and watch that again. So that's the same video as last week. Okay, so if you're not confident, have another watch of that. Okay, so your activity today, I would like you to describe the movement of the Earth in relation to the sun on the resource sheet that I've provided and uploaded. So it's exactly the same questions as are on here, but I would also like you to do me a diagram to explain day and night, please. So I'd like you to answer, what is the sun? How long does it take for the Earth to rotate on its axis? How long does it take for the Earth to orbit the sun? What shape is the Earth? And explain day and night using a diagram. And I would like you, if possible, to do it without looking back at this video or at the other PowerPoint. Try and learn it and then have a go at the resource sheet, even if it takes you a little bit longer. Once you've done that, there's a final slide. And I would like to complete the resource sheet and then go to the next slide on this, so you can press pause in a moment but I don't want you to peek until you've completed the activity. So you can either look at it on the PowerPoint or come back to the video. So if you could just pause now and complete that resource sheet for me. Okay, so you should have completed the resource sheet and watched the video again if you needed to. So now what I'd like you to do in another colour pen, I said green pen, but you don't need to use a green pen, it can be any other colour. Could you please make sure that you have added in the key vocabulary, really important: Earth, Sun, spherical, orbit, axis, and solar system. So if you don't have any of those words, can you add them in for me so I know that you know how to use them and where they go? And then I'd love you to upload your sheet for me so I can see if there are any misconceptions that we've still got that I need to address next week. Thank you. Now, if your hour isn't up on science, if you'd like to have a go at the animation, now you've heard that other people did it, that would be wonderful. If you'd like to look at the poster, you can do. If you want to improve it because you know that maybe you had two things that were the same size and you want to make it clear that you've got an Earth and a sun that are different sizes, that would be wonderful. If you feel really confident with day and night and don't need to do any more work on it, but you've got a bit of time left, feel free to get into the PowerPoint and to this slide and click on the video, and you can learn about seasons and how they occur. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the session. Thank you.